everybody. This is Jean. Hello, everybody. It's Jean McDonald, and today is a Transition Tip Tuesday. The topic for today, I kind of switched from what I put in yesterday's email because I want to introduce the idea of being aware of your family hierarchy. And what I mean by that is, in a traditional family, the hierarchy might be the grandparents and then the children. And the children might be in the order of birth. It might be whether the child is male. Maybe if the child is female. That was like the traditional hierarchy of power, of influence. In today's world, we don't have that type of tradition. Sometimes we don't even have biological family as our family. We have people, friends that have come into our lives and have become our family. So, looking at your family hierarchy and understanding it will help you understand maybe what might be holding you back or limiting you when you're going through a tough transitional period, because you are going to be influenced by that family member. But on the other side of the coin, and looking at it from the point of being a caregiver, that dynamic has changed. I remember when my mother was dying, and she had refused chemotherapy. Her cancer had gotten to a point where even if she decided to change her mind, which she kind of did at the end, um, she had said, "Well, I just don't want the chemotherapy, and I'm just going to go naturally." And there was a point where I really, as her caregiver, felt like her parent. It was like dealing with a kind of like a 4 or 5 year old child. And it was such a strange feeling because here was this matriarch of the family. She was always very strong, very controlling in many ways. She was more of an influence in our family. Well, I shouldn't say more, but a different type of influence than my father was. My father was very strong and very influential also. So you have this dynamic now where there's illness, and that illness has changed the hierarchy. And now I'm the parent, and the parent is now the child. And what that feels like on both ends, what that feels like. And I I know my mother felt embarrassed by when she would do things that were very infantile. But then on the other hand, she couldn't help it. She was going through her own emotional acknowledgement of her illness, her cancer, and of her impending death. And so she was going through her set. I was going through my set of trying to take time off to fly across the country, to be with her, to take care of her, to arrange for her to be taken care of. And she often would um, undo uh, the arrangements before, I would set things up and she would undo them. So it was a very difficult period. And we'll go through that more and more as we progress through life. We're parents to children, but when the children grow up and they become parents, and so now they have their own hierarchical structure within their family. So, how much influence will the parents still have when there is a spouse? Does the spouse have a higher spot in the hierarchy than a parent? And so, this will affect how you deal with your transition. Right now, I'm the caregiver of my older brother. And I was thinking back just recently how he was the one, he's 7 years older than I was. He was the one who really set the foundation for my spiritual growth and my spiritual journey in life. He studied Eastern religion, although we were raised Catholic, he brought new ideas into our household and taught them to me not only but through books, but also through his examples. And so all of a sudden now I'm on the other side where I had to tell him he had to leave his house and move up here in Port Angeles with me. I had to take the reins on changing his life. And, he's getting settled into his new life. He went from being independent and healthy to losing all his independence and losing his health. So he's going through the transition. I'm going through the transition. The hierarchy is changing, the dynamic is changing. And so it's something I don't have any techniques or solutions except to be aware. And when you start to be aware of this hierarchy and how it feels on both sides, you'll be better able to navigate your tough transition. So, with that, I'm going to end with that. We're at about close to 6 minutes. These videos will be available still on Facebook. They'll be stored there, as well as archived in on YouTube and in my website, jeanmcdonald.com. I've also started a caregiver support group that'll be on Thursdays at 7 o'clock Pacific time. And that's online. And it's a place where we can talk about your journey in caregiving, your transitions, maybe your situation where your hierarchy is changing with the person you're caring for. So, anyway, we'll cover that. Take care. Have a great week ahead. And thank you so much for those that pop in and listen to this. Um, I get your feedback. I love when I find out someone's been popping in that I don't know about. And so thank you so much because I love sharing any ideas and insights and techniques that I have. And I hope to hear more from you about what's working and what's not working in your life. So, with that, bye for now. Take care.